So here is our driver board that had gotten a little bit roasty there at Q4. And you could see from the pictures I rolled in earlier, I used some two-part epoxy, troweled it in there to reconstruct the PCB. This is high temperature epoxy, so there is no reason or no fear of that epoxy catching fire. Right now you can see the only solenoid that's on is solenoid 16, and the score displays are alternating between the last score and the high score to date. Testing, this function actually comes from the MPU. And the next test is lamp test. And they are all operating. Get a little dimmer light here. And we will go to solenoid test. And where I had the particular problem with this was that there was a 7408 that was blown out, and I was following the trace or the logic path there, and I eventually found it. This solenoid, the second special solenoid, is Q4. So what happened was, whatever happened, the coil or the transistor failed, and then it fed back into the special solenoid. So I can check the switch drives for these solenoids after the CPU controlled drive goes. Now I'm gonna rake the switch input connector 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is all I did for that. Is go like this, and it turns on the special solenoid, simulating the switch input from the pop bumper or the slingshot. The third test is switch test. So I use my Pinatek tester for this one. And I have Firepower MPU attached to this. And the last Firepower switch is 58. One moment. And we're back. That's what I get for trying to do things one-handed. Okay, let me do column 1 again. There we go. So that is all working properly. And that is the end of the test. Got some high score to dates put in there. Max credits, just passed it. Doesn't matter, it's on my CPU. Let me reboot. And we are back in business. So this driver board is good to go. And this is the second Williams 3 through 7 driver board. And I added a blanking signal to this one just as I did the other one. When this LED comes on, that means the blanking is good. So let's power up, and you can see the blanking LED comes on. Displays are alternating, lamp matrix going. Only coil on is 16, which is the coin lockout coil. Got a flasher flashing, but that's normal for Firepower. Display test, this actually comes from the MPUs. Nothing to do with the driver board. Here's the first driver board test. Lamps working perfectly. Coils. And this one did have a shorted transistor at coil solenoid or coil circuit number 14 coming up now. That one was shorted and locked on. Now we're doing the special solenoids. And where's my ground wire? Here it is. But once again, I'm just going to rake this connector. This is where the switch inputs come in. I should do that first. All right, now we're ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the switch inputs are functioning properly. Next test again is switch test. column 1, and these switches do come in through the driver board. And we'll go all the way to switch 58 is the last switch in firepower. So this board is good to go. So we have 2 of them. 2. Both operating. Reboot. Good to go. Thank you so much.